Alright, so I need to continue on from the previous one, right? So the previous time I got this running, and what happened, I didn't actually change anything that you can see on the screen. But there are some changes that I made to the picture, and I created a ball class. Now I have to figure out how to get that ball drawn on the screen, right? Which means I have to refactor some other things. So I refactored the picture to create the ball, and I got the ball all the way into his update here. But now that has to travel all the way back to main. All right, so we have to send it all the way back to the game loop so that we can use it. But it isn't there yet, right? We don't call up, we have to return this back to the place where update was called. We don't even call update from the game or from the game loop from main. We call it from the engine, right? So we have to go down to the engine. All right, let's see what happens with the engine. And the engine, we just say update the avatar, so update the picture. And what comes out of the picture? Well, usually nothing comes back, but sometimes, CSA return none, sometimes something comes out. So we'll just return that back down to main, all right? And then we come all the way down here, and so here's where we called the engine, we get a result, and so if there's a result other than none, right, then we want to do something. We want to do something to a list. So we'll have a list called other stuff, and we'll append, this just adds something to the end of that list, the result, and that result is hopefully a ball. There's only one issue with that right now, and that's I haven't created the other stuff list. So I have to create that other stuff list first. And I'm just going to create it as a big empty list, so it doesn't do anything at this point. All right. So now I've got that other stuff list, and now we need to start moving that forward to the view function. All right, so how do I do that? Well, I have to go to the view function, and I have to, rather than have this buttons, I have to put other stuff here. So now it's going to try to draw all the other stuff on top of the picture when I do the when I call the view. So now, rather than avatar and buttons as objects, the buttons get shifted over to this foreground. So I better change this list to, I can change the list or I can change the names. I'll change the list, foreground. And then I have to cycle through this list of other objects. And that's what the for is doing. It's going to go through object and pull out something. And I just called it other, I guess, for no particular reason, and it'll do the same thing to it. And that's why we need actually two different things here, one for the objects and one for the buttons, right? One for the things that are on, because the objects is for the stuff that's actually on the field, right? So it's going to scale with the field. The buttons don't scale with the field. They just sit where they are, and they always have the same size. So they don't have a scale, and they don't have an offset. They don't care about those. Those are part of your interface. They're not part of your game. So these things act a little bit differently, so they have to be in different lists, or we have to have some way of determining what to do with them, or you can just put dummy things in the buttons and not ignore them if you want to. I mean, you can do whatever you want. And maybe that will work. I'm not sure if that's enough. Let's see. Nothing unless I press start, and then I press pitch, and I break something. Okay, good. So where did I get hit? On line 505. Okay, that's this one. Other.draw screen scale offset. Says that whatever it is, which would be the ball, has a lot of stuff in there. I forgot the self in this thing, so I have to keep self. So self is the name of the ball, so it has to keep that in there. And now it's ready to go. That actually looks a lot bigger than those things. So let's go ahead and reduce the size of that, because I thought that size was too large. Let's see what I did down here. I'll look at frame 3, way at the bottom. There's a ball. Oh, I put it at 0.5. All right, so 0.05. So what I remembered was not what I put in. So let's see what it looks like now. Now that one's too small. Okay, so let me make sure. 0.05 times height. Okay. So that's actually relative to the size of the guy. Size of the pitcher. 0.05 times self.h. Okay, so let's see if... Okay, so that's the right size right there. And so actually I guess it's not that large. It's much smaller than that. It's not the regulation size. I guess if I want to, I can load something up and look baseball size. So it says here that it's about 9 inches. What? In circumference, okay. I thought that was 3 inches in diameter. Okay, so 3 inches in diameter. All right, and then I got a calculator. All right, so 6 divided by 0.25, 24, I had 20. So I think that's probably close enough. So that's just about where we need to start the process. I think that's sufficient. Yeah, I think we're good with that. The next thing we'd need to do is refactor the ball so that it goes across the screen. That's not a major issue. So I'll see if I can get that done pretty quickly as well. So let me go ahead and save this for you, and then I'll go to another one. All right.